First question, Ryan Rashad. Ryan, as soon as your microphone's active, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Andre. Dave, you talked a few times this year about the tone that your leadership group had set through the year. Your captain and alternate captains, just sort of the tone that they set in practice and in the room. I just wonder what you've seen, maybe from Connor in particular, in this training camp that is setting that similar tone towards this playoff series.
Well, I think our group, like you say, they have been excellent since the start of the year. You know, we talked about we want to earn the right to be a playoff team, and we've got ourselves in position to do that. You know, our leadership group took a big chunk of that, and there's two ways they do it. I mean, obviously I think they really like each other. There's a good group in the room, and they hold each other accountable. But the other thing they do is they show it on the ice. And you know, if it's any indication, Connor's come back to our little training camp here, and he's been excellent every day. And when he's out there playing the way he can, he drags everybody along with him. So our leadership group has been excellent throughout the year. They come back with a great attitude. They recognize that this is a unique situation, and we're going to have to earn our way to be a playoff team. And that's been our focus since we started camp. But I give that group a lot of credit. They've been excellent since the start of the year.
Next question to Mark Spector. Mark, as soon as your microphone's active, go ahead.
Dave, you coached against this team for a long time when they had young stars, they had offensive guys, but they didn't have what it took to be a good team that makes the playoffs and every year, and you know, sort of has a proper hockey team. They had high end, they didn't have a whole end. What are the things you have now that make this a more solid team, a team that can do something in the playoffs?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. I think those young guys, high-end talent guys you're talking about have all matured. And not only are they great players, they've matured into figuring out how to win a little bit in this league. So I give them credit for you know, just the learning process they've gone through to get to be a better team. You know, I think Ken Holland did a great job this year of bringing some just people like Archibald and Sheehan and people that just come in and just kind of stabilized our lineup, you know, adding James Neal. Mike Smith has been a part of that, big part of just the veteran presence in there. So we've got a good mix. Our team likes each other. They compete hard. I think our leadership group is a little bit younger, but yet they're engaged with the veteran guys on our team. We've got better depth. You know, I like our depth even better from when we started the year. So all in all, we've talked about building a team that is going to be competitive, not just in the high-end skill part, but competitive in winning and doing things you have to do to win. And you know, we've taken steps forward. Our goaltending's been solid, penalty kill, and the things that you don't normally think about when you think of a high-skill team. We've made improvements on, and we've given ourselves a chance to compete for a playoff spot.
Next question, Brendan Escott. Go ahead, Brendan. Brendan, just unmute your microphone and you'll be able to ask your question. We'll go to the next question. Daniel Nugent-Bowman. Daniel, as soon as your microphone's unmuted, you can ask your question.
Hey, Dave. Obviously, you guys got off to a really good start, 5-0, and then had some peaks and valleys along the way. But I'm just curious if there was a point in the year where you felt you really had something here and that this was a playoff team. Was there a point where you could kind of put your finger on things kind of turning your way and kind of getting to the point where you wanted to be?
I don't know if you can put your finger on 1 or 2 points. I think there's a whole, you know, as you go along, you learn about your team. We had some good points where you say you really want to build on what we're doing there, but then we had some down times in December. We weren't playing very well. But when you're good times or bad times, you learn a lot about your group, and hopefully the good times spur more wins. So those are things that you end up focusing on and trying to do more to get you more wins. But there is some challenges you go through, whether it be injuries or not playing very well as a group, and you got to use those challenges as well. So there was a few ups and downs, but I think as the year went on, the one thing that I'm most grateful for with this group is they really strive to get better every day. They strive to become a better team find more ways to win, be more consistent, play better as a team. And so, you know, as you go through the year, you just try to put all those things in place and become a better team. And you want to be as good a team as you can get to. And that's what we're striving for right now.
We'll try Brendan Escott again. Brendan, go ahead.
Okay, I think I've got it this time. Thanks, Andre. Dave, curious how you would describe Zach Kassian's ability to sort of set a tone in the game and really change momentum without having to score to do so.
Well, Zach is a unique player because he's a big, hard player. He can play a mean game, but he's also got great hands. He's a smart player. He can contribute in a lot of different ways. And you know, for a player, you know, a big physical guy to be able to play on a line like he plays with Nugent Hopkins and McDavid, he's got to have skill and smarts, and he's got some grit to add to our team. So he contributes a lot of different ways. You know, you got a heavy, hard guy like that can have an impact on the game and grinding people down. So he's a key guy of our team, playing on that top line, and you know, he does a real good job up there for us.
Next question, Jim Matheson. Jim, as soon as your microphone's active, you go ahead.
Two things, Dave. Who are you playing in goal tomorrow? And the other question is, how much emphasis did you put on having some definition in your bottom six players? In other words, you just didn't have players that couldn't fit in the top six fall into the bottom six because you got a bigger line, and you also got two guys, your best two penalty killers on another one.
Well, what you try to do, I think one of the coach's biggest jobs is to find ways where you can maximize the people you have. And, you know, in the bottom six, you're looking for people to fill roles there, whether it's a checking role, penalty kill role, secondary scoring, some size, face-offs. I mean, there's a lot of different aspects there you're looking at. And it, you know, when you get your team together, you're trying to find where people fit best and where they can contribute the most to maximize the talents that they have. And, you know, you're looking for people that can play in certain roles that help your team win in those. So whether it's a checking line or some penalty killers. And I feel like we've got some real capable parts there. You're always trying to tweak them and trying to figure out where you can get the best out of them. But, you know, it goes up and down a little bit, but I feel like our guys have accepted roles and really tried to strive to use those roles to help our team win. And as far as the goaltender, Jim, you'll remember this. There's an old hockey movie called Slapshot where somebody walks up to Paul Newman and asks him how his power play is. And all he said is, "We're working on it." That's my answer for the goaltenders. We're working on it.
Next question, Ryan Rashad. Ryan, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Dave. I'll follow up on that a little bit because we're not able to get in and watch practices and such. Probably just flat out ask you whether you're willing to tell us or not. But were there anything significant changes wise in your line combinations or D pairings? Normally we'd be able to get a look at that, but obviously we can't.
So you guys feel like you're being discouraged against? Is that what it is? Coaches like to have secrets too, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
We had everybody on the ice today.
All right.
We'll leave it at that. Everybody's available.
If there are any other questions, remember to use raise hand. It doesn't look like we do, so thanks very much, Coach Tippett.